Bleeding Purple Podcast.
This is a 52-yard try left hash with 31 seconds to go. Snap, spot, kick, up, distance, fine. It is no good. He missed it.
Talk good and loud so they all can hear you. Make a short speech so they all will listen to you. Then sit down so they all will like you.
Tickled his foot, he's in a good place. I want Teddy. I don't want to go somewhere else.
The deep throw, steps up in the pocket. He'll fire to the right side. Caught by Diggs. Stay back. Oh my God. 30. No. 10. Touchdown. Are you kidding me? It's a Minneapolis.
Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Bleeding Purple, a podcast about the Minnesota Vikings. My name is Tyler Haig. I am joined, as always, by Mr. Adam Patrick. Happy Miracle Monday, good sir.
Oh, what's anniversary or something? What?
Anniversary? No, it was actually just the game yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm not sure if you did you catch the end of it?
Because they beat the Saints.
Oh my God! All right, so let's get right into. Oh, what a wonderful! I couldn't believe that it happened. Yeah, like what? First of all, I don't know what this feeling is. I've never had it before. I don't know what this is. I don't know how to handle it. I find myself, the more I think about it and the more times I watch the replay of the video of it, I'm almost getting embarrassed now where I'm like, oh, are we not supposed to do this? Are we not supposed to be this excited?
You are.
We aren't.
I
don't know.
How old were you? I think I've heard some people compare it to this, but when was it that Twins World Series?
Yeah, I was not...
Game 6 or something?
Yeah, I was not old enough to... Yeah. I was alive and knew that they were playing in the World Series, but I wasn't, able to, watch it with any real...
So this is okay.
Yeah, it's the first time it happened. Well, first, let me ask you this. What was your, reaction... set the scene for us. Describe what you were doing. I mean, obviously, you probably weren't sitting down. I'd imagine you were pacing. Were you sitting? Okay.
I was sitting on the couch. I was just huffing and puffing, just rubbing my face. Just here we go again.
It's happening again. Yep.
Luckily, my wife recorded all this.
Oh my God! You have a reaction video?
Maybe I'll post it there or something.
You have to post it. Oh my God. I'm so thankful I don't have it. Continue. Okay, continue.
So yeah, I'm watching it and I see the ball go to Diggs and immediately I'm like, get out of bounds.
Yes. Yep.
I think that's pretty much what everyone thought. And then I'm like, oh my God.
Continue running now.
Yeah, and then I just jumped off the couch. Started running around the apartment, clapping and everything, and then I just did a face plant back onto the couch. So yeah, it was pretty mild.
Yeah, that's not too bad at all. I had my jacket on because I was getting ready to smoke because I was about to take just get it out, have a cigarette.
Well, either way, you probably did.
Well, I did, but it wasn't until way after because I had to catch my breath because I ran around.
You had to catch your breath to lose it.
Yeah, ran around like a maniac. My 2-year-old was like,
what's going on?
Yeah, he had no idea. Poor guy. Oh, man. And that, to me, is, I forget sometimes with this football team because it hasn't happened ever. But it turns sports and plays like that turn grown-ups into children. There was
why you watch them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I forgot because that hasn't happened in so long that it's that reward, that euphoric, it has been a really long time since I had experienced that.
You get invested in it. It's kind of therapy for some people, although I don't know why you'd pick the Vikings for therapy.
Bad choice.
Unless you some reverse psychology kind of stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, it's an escape for some people who don't enjoy their job or don't enjoy their life at home. They have like 3 hours every Sunday to just like sit there and either yell at TV in excitement or
Anger.
yell at the players. Well, that's never happened before. I don't. They've gone in Super Bowls before, but nothing like that is. No play like that has ever happened in the history of this team.
That brings me to a question I have been trying to ask everybody, but I'll ask you. Does this, I mean, obviously you want them to keep winning and you want it to end in a Super Bowl. But to me, this now, like after that moment, the rest of this is just gravy at this point. They get a Super Bowl, awesome. Obviously I'm going to be very, very excited. But I will hang on to this moment and this play and that feeling. Like that's going to carry me through like 4 seasons.
I was thinking,
literally 4 seasons, and I'm going to be able to still think back to like, but oh my God, that play and that feeling. Like
you can always look back on it because it actually was a positive Vikings play.
Yeah.
Obviously we want them to win the Super Bowl. We want them to win next week and then come home and play in front of all their fans and have a chance to possibly beat Tom Brady and all that stuff. But, like I was thinking about it, how like the Miracle on Ice or whatever, that wasn't in the final game. That was actually, I think it was in the semifinal.
It was, yes.
But that's the only thing people remember.
Yeah.
Nobody remembers them playing in the final.
The gold medal game.
I think they still won the gold medal, but nobody remembers that game at all. It's all about the semifinal. So that's probably how this would go. Like even if they won the Super Bowl. Like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Happens in baseball a lot with like Game 5, Game 6, and then it's not the clinching game, but nobody cares.
People who don't follow football are probably like, oh yeah, I remember they beat the Saints in the Super Bowl. Like, oh yeah, sure.
And like what? Okay, well let me ask you this: do you think that this was the biggest hurdle for them to get through? Not only, well, let's start with just in the NFC. Do you think New Orleans was the toughest matchup for them? Yeah,
based on who was left in the NFC. If like the Panthers were still around, then maybe them. But yeah, definitely the Saints.
Do you think
the Eagles are good, but they don't have Carson Wentz. So that makes a huge difference.
Who would have thought at the beginning of the season that the NFC Championship game would be Nick Foles against Case Keenum?
Jeff Fisher, he did.
Jeff Fisher, he knew.
Did you know that? Did you realize? I think this has been posted a couple times online that Keenum's number is 7 and Nick Foles' number is 9. So 7 and 9 for Jeff Fisher.
Poor guy.
Just worked out.
I shouldn't say poor guy because he's like a millionaire.
No, he said like a week or two ago about how like part of those guys' success is because of him, he said the Rams' success this year is because of him because he left Sean McVay with all those good players.
I mean, that's dumb, but maybe I don't know.
I'm just happy he's probably not going to get fired as a coach this year because that could happen.
We should also talk about Shermer too.
Oh yeah,
where he winds up. We can do that later. What was I going to ask you about the play? So is it just called Minneapolis Miracle? Is that did PA just is that the thing? Is that what it's called now?
He did, and then I think Keenum and Diggs both talked about what the play was actually called. It was like 7 heaven.
Yeah, Buffalo something 7.
Yeah, like Buffalo Ride 7 heaven. And like they say, like the cliche goes, the rest is history. And Diggs gets a lot of the credit for doing that, just scoring the touchdown too. But that was a heck of a throw by Keenum.
It was. Well, and
it was really Diggs he was really the only one that had a chance to get that ball.
Yeah.
It wasn't. So. And
even if he catches the ball and goes out of bounds, they would have had an opportunity to. I mean, I don't think he would have made it.
I think somebody said he was down at the 25, around that area when he caught the ball, or was it before? Was it earlier?
Oh man, I can't remember where it was. Well, I know because Fox had the here's where the field goal needs to happen, and he was in front of that by a couple of yards. Diggs was when he caught the ball
towards the end zone.
Yeah.
Let's see where he caught it. I have the video on my phone for some reason. I don't know why.
No big deal. Haven't been playing it over and over.
He would have gone out of bounds probably around the 30, so that would have been like a 45-yard field goal.
Yeah, so maybe he would have been able to kick a field goal and win it, huh?
But
didn't have to.
Vikings. It's the Vikings kicker. So no matter how close,
it could have been a 27-yard field goal, and he would have missed it.
But that doesn't matter because it didn't. Because Diggs just went all the way.
Yeah. Do you think?
I don't know what that Saints safety was doing.
Everybody has been talking, or everybody on the sports talk radio in Minneapolis that I listen to while I'm driving around at work.
Yeah.
Lots of talk about evidently during the timeout, the Saints coaching staff was telling the defense no pass interference. Dude was, what was his name? Marcus Williams?
Yep. Yeah.
He would have gotten there.
He could have just stood behind him.
That's what I was just going to say. All he needed to do was chop his feet a little bit and slow down.
But
push him out of bounds.
He wanted to tackle him but not interfere, I guess.
And it was like he wasn't okay with just putting the brakes on a little bit.
Yeah,
but
just
then he
took out his own guy too, so that worked out.
I feel bad for that dude because I hate plays like that. I mean, I'm so happy that it happened.
To the Saints, yes.
To the Saints.
Somebody was like, "Oh, Drew Brees, I feel so bad for him." No, actually, it makes it better.
Yeah, way better. And those Super Bowl. Get out of here.
You know what? Those players, their coaches, Sean Payton. So
yeah, he's a turd.
Just being associated with him makes it so much better.
So much better. What a jerk. So rumors are that he was skull chanting at people.
Yeah. Before the final play.
Do we have confirmation of this? Do we have? Is there any video evidence?
I think it was just reported by Ben Lieber because he's usually on the sideline for KFan or whatever.
Dude, that soundbite of Paul Allen throwing it to Lieber at the end of the game was wonderful. Oh, God, that's so funny to listen to. They already have it on the button bar at KFan, his big woo at the end. Yeah, so game gets over. Paul Allen's screaming. Yeah. He sends it down to Ben Lieber, who's on the sideline, and Lieber is like, "This is the most unbelievable thing!" And then he goes, "Woo!" It's like it, and it makes it even sweeter that it was against the Saints. Woo! And they have already on KFan have the button bar of his big woo from it. Oh my God, it's hilarious. But yeah, he went nuts. Paul Allen's call was amazing. I think the best one though. Whatever. Yeah, Bursich always walks all over his. I thought Joe Buck.
It was good. It was good.
I thought that was perfect.
I know Vikings fans, me too. Maybe you don't really care for him because of the whole Randy Moss thing and how he slobbers all over Aaron Rodgers. But that was a good call.
It was a really good call. And my issue, I guess, with Joe Buck is just that there are times where he, like if the Twins are in the playoffs and he's calling the game and the Twins have a walk-off hit, he's going to say, "And we'll see you tomorrow night." You know, like he gets the history of it, so he like does stuff like that, and that bugs me. There was no like, there was, yeah, I mean, I guess. But there was no, you could tell there was no script, no like thought, no pre, whatever. He was just reacting to it.
Well, I was getting kind of annoyed at them as usual, at Aikman and Buck, because during the game when Vikings were up like 17-0 and the Saints couldn't find anything, they were showing how like this Vikings defense, they actually have everyone covered. I'm thinking in my head like, actually, this is the number one defense in the NFL. Like,
this might surprise you, but this really good defense is where they're supposed to be.
it's not surprising that it's hard for the Saints to do anything. That bugged me because every time they throw a compliment, it would be so like backhanded or condescending.
A couple of things about the game that I wanted to discuss, like concerns that happened that aren't the amazing, awesome walking on sunshine portion of the game.
Wait, some other stuff happened?
We'll come back to the walking on sunshine part.
All right.
But one of my concerns, well, here's just as, I guess I'll throw this out as an observation. The Kamara, they looked like the Vikings were doing man. Why? Kamara was split way wide. Kendricks all alone with him up there. I didn't like that. They did it a lot, and I didn't like it at all.
I didn't think he's fast. I don't think he was fast enough to, and clearly he wasn't, to keep up with him because he scored a touchdown on him. I thought it would have been better if they put a corner on him or even Barr, because Barr's faster than Kendricks. But
that bugged me. Do you think that the Saints coming back in the second half, do you think that was exposing something that the Vikings were doing defensively that
I don't know,
the Saints were taking advantage of? Or
their scoring drives weren't really that long because they had that.
Oh yeah, the interception was a sharp.
Keenum off. Yeah. That was in the Vikings' own field.
What a horrible throw that was!
You can't make that throw.
Oh man,
throw that away or something.
He did that twice. He had two different throws that were like, dude, what are you doing?
They had the block punt. The block punt. They scored a touchdown on that.
Yeah. That was concerning, too, because the special teams this season has just not been an issue at all.
Yeah.
That was when that was when the ghosts started coming out, where I was like, oh, God, they blocked a punt in a playoff game, and Quigley's been the man, and his first touchback of the season. And I'm like,
I looked at
it's happening.
I watched the replay, the replay of that a couple times, and it looked like the new long snapper got just jacked in the middle by some Saints player. Like he lifted him up off the ground.
Oh, poor guy.
That's how the other guy, their other guy got through there, like unblocked and tipped the. But yeah, and the Vikings still had that stop on 3rd and 1 to make the Saints kick a field goal. So they played good, and the second half they were without Sendejo. Apparently he's a factor back there.
Yeah. Because evidently when
he had that really good interceptions.
When he was out, it was chaotic, and I don't like that. And there was a large portion of that game where that secondary was Harris and Mackenzie Alexander and Newman played a ton.
Because Rhodes went out too.
Yeah, and
Newman went out too.
I didn't like any of that. I think
Saints are physical though.
I mean, I think Mackenzie Alexander is a liability. He just doesn't feel.
He's still young.
I know, but I don't want him in there. Somebody else get healthy and be in there.
Kind of like how you felt about Trey Waynes, maybe a year or two ago.
I mean,
you still feel that way?
Yeah. No, I like Trey Waynes. I think Trey Waynes is killing it the last several games.
He is.
I think this season in general he's been great, but I think these last few games are he's now graduated to a whoa level where they kind of have the dual shutdown thing almost happening at this point, which then makes it so scary when a guy like Sendejo, who fits right into that nice puzzle, is out, and then you get a guy in who's not supposed to be there, and it's sticks out like a sore thumb. And quarterbacks like Drew Brees go nuts on that, and I hate it.
Yeah, you were right to be afraid of him.
Mm-hmm. I told you. I knew.
I know. I was like, no. And after the first half, I was like, I was right.
Dude, that was also part of why I thought they were going to lose, because I was feeling so good at halftime. I was strolling, doing the Vince McMahon strut.
The Conor McGregor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you knew, and I knew it couldn't end. It wasn't going to end 17-0.
No,
you knew they were going to score.
You knew at the end of the game too that after the Vikings made the field goal to go ahead, I think a minute and a half or 2 minutes or whatever.
Have you ever been more sure that a team was going to score points in your life?
You knew they were going to score.
Never a doubt in my mind. And that's such a bummer to say out loud, but it never a doubt in my mind that they were
even though they had, 4th and 10, still got it. But, yeah.
That, to me, that 4th down play was that's the ultimate, Drew Brees. Like last week when I was like, I'm afraid of Drew Brees. That's the play. That was the play that's in my head where it's like,
it was weird.
That stuff.
Because on the drive or whatever, they ran the same play 3 times in a row. They tried to get what's his name, Michael Thomas, the ball on a fade 3 times in a row. And I'm, is Sean Payton is he getting cocky or something? What? I mean, he is cocky, but
he is. But is he really just forcing it to this guy?
Yeah, I don't,
and then he looks at Thomas.
He made a lot of dumb decisions yesterday with those challenges.
Yeah, did you see he blamed it on the replay monitors in the coach's booth being
okay?
They weren't working.
Don't say that it was your fault.
Yeah, it couldn't have been. He's Sean Payton. He wears.
I'm surprised he couldn't.
He wears
tell
those glasses.
Those glasses. I'm surprised he couldn't tell because those glasses.
He just touches the frame and it turns into
Those are
binoculars.
Those are Apple iPhone glasses, right?
Yeah, totally. Oh, what a turd! I hope that skull chant thing comes out, because that would be delicious. If that was true. If Sean Payton did that.
They are coming back to Minnesota next year.
Who? What?
Saints are.
Oh. When is that? What month is that? Do you know?
It's one of their opponents.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's a home opponent. They haven't released the schedule, but
yeah,
I posted that today, and I was like, "When you think that'll be a primetime game?"
Oh yes, I did see that. Sure, will be a primetime game.
Yeah. So people were like, "Yeah, it'll be the kickoff game on Thursday."
Weekend.
It's like, whoa! two more games. One more game.
Hang on.
Game at a time.
How concerned are you with Sendejo and concussion protocol and all that? He was definitely unconscious.
Yeah, that was kind of scary.
It was really ugly.
Because you saw it and you're like, oh, he's not moving at all.
No. Well, and, this is kind of gross as a description, but in football, a lot of times the guys go out when, they'll get hit and then they hit the ground. And you can tell when they hit the ground that they're not there anymore. But Sendejo was donezo. He hadn't hit the ground yet, and he was already
his
ragged
hands or arms or whatever were starting to, go limp or whatever.
Yeah.
But
that was really ugly.
I still don't like that. I know Xavier Rhodes came out today and said that Michael Thomas hit or whatever wasn't dirty, but he clearly saw him coming, and his shoulder went lower than if he didn't see him coming. Because if he didn't see him coming, they would have just ran into each other.
Yeah. They both would have been out because they were both running fast. Yeah, you totally put his shoulder into it. I don't think it was necessarily an illegal play.
He didn't go out. He didn't plan on that play, just going out and knocking Sendejo out. But he saw him coming and
put a shoulder into him. Yeah,
he took the opportunity because he's a Saints player, and that's what they do.
100%. The idea that there's even a debate about what, I don't even say what his intentions are, but the fact it's so obvious that he saw him coming and was going to put a shoulder into the guy that wasn't looking. And that, unfortunately, I guess, is how people are taught to play football.
The craziest thing to me is there was no flag.
Yeah, and that was going to be my point. Was I don't necessarily blame the receiver that threw the shoulder into Sendejo, but I blame the NFL. That's a big statement. If you want to protect defenseless players, that's a perfect example of a defenseless player that you want to protect, and you can throw a flag
because he's on defense.
Exactly,
they don't care.
It's hypocrisy.
That's pretty much what I think Xavier Rhodes said that yesterday. You want to talk about protecting defenseless players.
Yes,
it's clearly
That's like
but
the
he's
definition.
on defense. So, yeah, so they don't care.
That's what bothers me. You know, the more we talk, man, the more it's just the rules. If we could start our own league like the XFL, change some of these crappy rules, get some
boycott the NFL. That's working out pretty.
Get some players who won't mess around with the anthem.
46 million people watched the game yesterday. So
was it 46 million people? Wowzers!
Yeah,
that's a ton. Holy smokes!
But you know the NFL's dead.
Yeah, so. It's definitely going bad. The let's get back to the walking on sunshine.
I do think that's actually down though from last year.
Really? See,
but last year was the Cowboys and Packers.
Here's the problem too with the ratings and that whole debate is you can't be as big as the NFL for that long and not come down a little bit. Just because they're coming down a little bit doesn't mean they're going like anywhere besides number one. But
everything is going down. Just I think we've talked about this before about how people, how they watch TV is just way different than it used to be even like 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Like, you can watch football games on Twitter now.
Yeah, TV ratings are very, very overrated.
Facebook carries Lithuanian basketball.
Yeah, it's still like the NFL, I think it was like 5 of the top 10 most watched telecasts in 2017. So I don't think they're, losing any money.
No, I don't think so either. Are you concerned at all about the offensive line play in the second half? I mean, they didn't look great. Do you think that was more scheme-wise what New Orleans was doing, or do you think...
I thought I was.
Hill looked meh to me.
But Cam Jordan's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He's real good.
He's an all-pro this year.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
And he was on him by himself for most of the time. So he did, for a guy, I think Rashad Hill is like a second or third year guy. So for being on the practice squad last year, he did pretty well.
Yeah,
but I look back at it and it just looked like the Saints did better in coverage because it looked like Keenum actually held on to the ball longer than he normally does, so the pass rush was able to get to him. Mm-hmm. I don't remember them blitzing a lot. I think it was more just their pass rush, and they let everyone else be covered. So I'm not worried. It was interesting. I was interested to see how Remmers played at like left guard or whatever because he's never played there before in his career. So, but he seemed to do fine. I'll probably look closer at it later in the week. But
do you think they switched that up, or do you think that performance was enough for them to stick with it?
No, I think they've switched it up so many times this year. I don't think they want to keep doing that. I think they want to give these guys a chance to play together. They pretty much all played together anyways, except in different spots for the most part. Rashad Hill, he was in there when Remmers wasn't. So they've all played together pretty much this whole year.
Who was on the defensive line that went out with a knee ankle thing, got rolled up on, and
Shamar Stephen?
Yeah.
Stephen.
Is it Stephen or Stephen? Shamar Stevens.
Stephen Curry.
Steph, yeah. Shamar Steph. If he's, does it concern you if B-Rob is playing a ton, if he's getting a ton of snaps because the D-line?
No, because they have that rookie Bauer, and they have Jaleel Johnson too.
Oh yeah.
So I think they're pretty good if Stephen doesn't. Yeah. So I think they're pretty good still if Stephen doesn't play. I think it's more about like what he does on maybe like special teams. Sometimes that's hard to replace because that block punt, a bunch of that stuff was because of backups or whatever. Let guys through like Manuel Lemire or whatever his name is, and then I think even CJ Ham, he's the one that let the backup quarterback for the Saints get by and almost blocked that punt. So
that punt, man, that was when the things started to turn. That was That worried me a lot.
Yeah. That's when you're like, here we go again.
Yep, it's happening again. But nope, not this game. Ta-da.
No.
They win.
Said, no.
No, not this team, not anymore. Hey.
Diggs was like,
It feels so good.
not on my turf. Not on my terms.
Do you think, early favorites, the Vikings are favored against Philly, I believe?
I think.
Yeah. We can...
It might go down or up, actually, because the Saints-Vikings line went up last week.
How confident are you? That's realistically, I ask that because realistically that's a game that they probably should have lost. Do you think that was a curse game, or do you think that was shoot yourself in the foot enough to lose a game?
Yesterday?
Yeah, say the Vikings lose. Say the Diggs play doesn't happen.
Oh, they totally,
Did they lose it, or did...
They made a bunch of plays to let the Saints in. Like that interception, the block punt, not being able to cover Kamara, or leaving him in single coverage, all that stuff. Those are things you can't... the Eagles don't have Alvin Kamara, so you don't have to worry about that, but they still have some talented players.
Mm-hmm.
How confident am I? Obviously, I'd be more confident if they were playing in Minnesota.
Yeah.
But the Vikings have played well on the road this year. They lost, a close one to the Panthers. They lost that weird game to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Which I don't even really count at this point because it was just very weird.
Very
game.
weird. And that defense travels well, so that, you can always kind of count on them.
And it's probably going to be a close game anyway. It's going to be cold. It's going to be at night.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to be just running the ball, and whichever team pretty much doesn't screw up the least or screws out the least, will probably come out of there with a win. So
yeah,
Kai Forbath get some extra reps in there this week.
I feel Keenum's performance concerns me about, just, I don't know. He'll do this. This is the Carolina game. Couple bad throws, interception, they lose, or should have lost. And then he's going to play 2 really good games back-to-back here and not make those kind of mistakes, I feel like. And I think that gives the Vikings a pretty good chance to win. Because that is it. If they're turning the ball over or, having punts blocked, it's going to be impossible for them to win in games like that. Or I shouldn't say impossible, but highly unlikely.
I think the Eagles scored
mistakes like that.
Yeah, they scored 1 touchdown against the Falcons on Sunday. And they had 3 or 4 more field goals.
Yeah.
So
that was ugly.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's going to be close.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it's not. I hope the Vikings just do what they did in the first half against the Saints, and then just hold on. Don't. It's weird too, because that first drive the Vikings had in the second half was for 7 or 8 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't think they got any points. Did they get points?
I don't think so, because I remember, I don't think so, because I remember it was 7-17, and I think that was when the interception happened. Case Keenum's interception.
Yeah, it was 17-0 at half, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then 7-17, I remember thinking, oh God, all of a sudden it's going to be 14-7, and this is going to be a completely new game, and oh no.
Yeah.
Things are different. Mm-hmm. That Kamara is a stud, though. New Orleans is really good. I was very impressed with. I knew Cam Jordan was really good, but I guess I didn't know how good Lattimore was. He was really impressive. He locked Thielen down.
He did. So Thielen still found a way to get the ball a couple times, but yeah, he would whenever he got a chance. Lattimore was right there.
Yeah, he was impressive. Kamara was impressive. Ingram, I don't know. He doesn't impress me that much. I think the two of them together are good, but Kamara's really good.
Yeah, Ingram's probably got another year there maybe before they let him loose.
Yeah.
And just give the ball to Kamara all the time.
And then to think that Kendricks and that linebacking, like, that's probably your best matchup, or one of the best matchups that you're going to find against him in the league.
In terms of like a linebacker.
Yeah, and they still did that to him.
Yeah, unless you stick Xavier Rhodes on him, which wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. Well, and that's a predicament you get stuck in, is do you put a D-back on him? Well, if you do, then they're going to run it down your throat because you don't have any linebackers in the game. It's terrifying. Vikings don't have to worry about it because they won.
Yep. I just, another way I was thinking of it today was like in March Madness, when those teams get buzzer beaters. Like, no one remembers the rest of the game.
No.
Everyone remembers that shot.
Yeah.
Like, people who cover the Vikings, like me and you, we're gonna remember. Like, we're gonna think of all the stuff that went on in the other part of the game, but nobody's gonna remember anything else but that last play.
No, that one play. And
Second to last. I'm sorry.
It was unbelievable. Where do you rank that in your? Do you think that's the best like Vikings moment of all time?
Oh yeah.
Do you think that is? Yeah.
Since I've been alive.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's hard for me to say about talk about anything before my time, but I can't think of anything. I mean, honestly, probably the closest would be that Greg Lewis play.
Yeah, and that was like the third game in the 2009 season, so it didn't matter that much. Yeah. Man, unbelievable. Did you see the New Orleans paper? I can't remember which one, but the headline was just 3. Expletive.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Also, have you seen the video of the guy at the New Orleans bar? Or I guess it maybe isn't New Orleans, but he's like this watching the game and has this selfie and
his face just goes like, "Oh no!" Yeah, I watched that a bunch of times.
Oh, that poor guy.
I saw like the Star Tribune or whatever was saying how you can buy copies of their paper or whatever today.
Yeah.
Like just like the front page or whatever that has the Viking stuff. Yeah. And I was like, I think I'd rather get the Saints paper that had the expletive. I'd rather frame that because that just makes it so much, sweeter. And it was over the Saints. I don't know. This would still be a big moment. I don't know if it would be. I don't know. It's debatable. Like if it would be as big if it wasn't over the Saints.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I don't know if it would change its ranking necessarily, but I think it definitely makes it a lot sweeter to the fans that it was against.
Oh, for sure.
The Saints, definitely. I just can't believe I still am trying to process.
Was there any point in time where you were like, all right, we need to do this revenge thing?
No, yeah. I mean, a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
Maybe at the end.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
Dude, I was ready. I had already moved on to...
Yeah.
I was done. I was like mentally processing. I was already moving on to like, okay, who are they going to draft? How are they going to do this? Yeah, Mackie and Judd today were asking for people who left, if there was anybody that left the stadium. I don't know if they got any calls about it, but could you imagine being that guy?
I would not be calling you.
Oh man,
I would not admit to that.
I just
want to beat the traffic.
It's amazing to me that I guess like there was just thousands of people screaming at their TVs and running around their houses all at the same time yesterday. That makes me feel really happy for some reason. That all those people like lost their cool filter, like stopped caring, stopped being embarrassed about how they were going to act.
This is exactly pretty much how Bills fans felt like 2 weeks ago when their team got into the playoffs. Yeah. At least our team is still in the playoffs.
Yeah. It's just phenomenal to me that it happened. Like, I'm just so happy. It feels like such what a present to be given.
What a present to that 100-year-old
football gods. Yeah. Thank you, football gods.
Heck of a first game to go to.
50 years of bad luck turning around in one play.
Yeah, she should be at every game. I don't know.
Yeah, where's this lady been?
So you're why.
For real.
You're why they're losing. Millie curse.
Are we flying her to Philly? Somebody, let's get this organized. Like, let's get some funds together.
They gave her Super Bowl tickets today.
So she'll be there. Okay. Wow. I mean, we got to get her to Philly.
Go fund me.
Yeah, for real. Let's make this happen. Millie needs to go.
Yeah.
Do you want to do score predictions for the Eagles game? For the NFC Championship game? Oh, my God.
Do you want to talk about the Eagles?
I mean, yeah, I suppose. Let's talk about Wentz.
Yeah, he was there on Saturday. He'll probably be there on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
5:40 p.m. Central. It's gonna be a late game. Late for me. It starts at 3:30.
Crazy.
Yeah,
that's so late.
It's gonna end at like 6:30.
That was, I thought about that too. The game was over at like 7, and that was like, I was like emotionally spent at like 9, but I couldn't, I was still so pumped up, I couldn't like fall asleep, so I just had to walk around staring at my phone, watching the replay of the play. How many times do you think you've watched the replay of the play so far?
A lot.
I'm probably over 150.
Over 50.
I'm probably
over 150.
Oh yeah, just all day. That's pretty much all I've done since it happened.
Joe Buck's. I don't know if I want to admit this, but Joe Buck's call actually gives me like more chills than Paul Allen's.
Mm-hmm. I would agree with that. Bursic kills the PA call for me.
Yeah, the Homer. Mm-hmm. Homer. Color commentator guy.
Well, and like that part doesn't bother me, but he's just going while Paul Allen's trying to say touchdown, and it's like, dude, like, come on.
Yeah. No. Well, and you can hear the crowd more on the TV broadcast than you can on the radio broadcast.
I would agree with that.
So that makes a big impact. Did you see the video without any announcers?
Yes, the one on the sideline view.
So loud.
It shifts up. It like there's loud cheers when he catches the ball.
Yeah, and
then like shaking. Oh man, to be in that stadium, I couldn't imagine.
So many tears. So many tears.
So many strangers hugging. So many high fives. Oh God, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stuff. And to think that like other fan bases, they've gotten this before. I didn't know. It's amazing to me. It's the most magical. What a magical day.
Side note: the Vikings are undefeated in the playoffs at US Bank Stadium.
Interesting.
1-0.
A trend that will continue.
Oh.
I think so. I think they need to add. I think they need to add more fireworks because there wasn't enough. One of the morning show guys on KFan was talking about it, and I agree completely. It was like cool because there was like boom, 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 boom.
They're indoors.
Well, yeah, but I mean, let them rip. That was the game of the ending of the century.
It's probably laws for
Oh yeah, I bet you're right.
Fireworks on the inside of a building.
Yeah, and the last thing you want when you got 66,000 people in one room is for that room to be on fire.
I don't think wrestling doesn't even do pyro anymore.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Man, WWE sucks now that it went all PG. All right, let's talk about the Eagles. What are we looking at as far as, offensively, we know they have some weapons, but Wentz is out. Foles is the dude. What are we to expect? They run the ball really well, correct?
They're actually a lot like the Vikings. They run the ball a lot. They now have a quarterback that they hope doesn't make dumb mistakes. I would choose Keenum over Foles, though, right now, for sure.
Yeah.
They have some talented running backs. They got Jay.
No idea how to say his name. I was trying to avoid it.
All right.
Ajayi.
LeGarrette Blount. And they got two good wide receivers. They got Torrey Smith and Alshon Jeffrey, former Vikings nemesis in Chicago.
I remember him.
And their defense is pretty good. Eric Kendrick's brother plays on there. Got Ronald Darby, Michael Jenkins. So
Pro Bowl safety, Michael Jenkins.
Yeah, they're a lot like the Vikings. So it's I think it's gonna be very close.
Do you think it's going to be low scoring? Are we looking at like a 9-3 game possibly here?
Maybe not that low, but I think probably like the team that scores a touchdown is probably going to win.
Oh, those games worry me because the margin for error is so small. You know, like turnovers then are so magnified because even, you know, when you get into a game like that, it's like even a good punt can totally swing momentum.
Then again,
swing field position. And
it was like when the Bucks won their Super Bowl, you know, super cold in Philly, and everyone's like, oh, it's going to be a close game, whatever, and the Bucks blew them out. So, you never know.
And I guess I will say this. It wouldn't shock me for this team, after that, to come out and just play lights out. Yeah, and just feel like all the pressure is off.
Yeah.
And because, I mean, that's the way I feel. This is this is house money, man. Everything else is gravy. This is
how they looked in the first half.
Yeah.
Pretty much the
Defense
fourth quarter
concerns me, man.
Pretty much where everything went haywire. The defense concerns you?
It does. I don't know. I thought Drew Brees was really good, but
yeah,
the defense also though were
Nick Foles,
not Drew Brees.
No Drew Brees.
That's true. That's true. But Nick Foles was successful the one season, so we
with
know
Chip Kelly.
that
Pat Shurmur.
With Pat Shurmur, yeah. What are we going to do when our quarterback whisperer is gone and he's coaching the Giants?
Yeah, he's going to the Giants.
Arizona. Is that official now? The Giants?
It's pretty much as official as it can get before he signs on the dotted line. Obviously, they have to wait until the Vikings season's over. But yeah, he's going to the Big Apple.
Do you think we could pull a Josh McDaniels with him and like have him fail after 2 years and bring him on back?
It's possible.
Because we'll be a dynasty at that point.
I don't think that's a 2-year kind of job, especially with the Giants. Because he doesn't seem like Shermer's not as much of a head case as McAdoo was. Just throwing people under the bus and stuff like that. And nobody in that locker room liked Ben McAdoo. I think the players, especially in the Vikings locker room, get along with Shermer really well. So
I was perplexed by that firing because it seemed like a lot of their best players were just hurt. They were bad because a lot of their good players were out. Like, didn't they lose all of their wide receivers in one game? And I mean, granted, I know it was worse than that, but
he was the whole running the team. He was just bad.
A disaster.
It wasn't just on the field stuff, just how he dealt with certain situations in the locker room, and it was just the whole benching Eli Manning.
Yeah, dumb, foolish.
That was. I feel like that was pretty much.
I probably would have fired if I would have been the owner and he'd have benched Eli Manning after all the stuff that Eli Manning's done, and to bench him in the middle of a season I probably would have fired him too.
Replace him with Geno Smith.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Maybe
I understand because they have a rookie. I understand if you want to put him in there, see what he's got, but don't bench him for Geno Smith. What do you need to see from Geno Smith?
Yeah, that was stupid. That was like the dumbest move. Like
Shermer will be there. I think the only chance the Vikings have to play him next year would be if they met in the playoffs. So,
man, that makes me so sad.
It's the NFL. It's what happens.
I know, but it just feels like he's such a big part of why that offense has been successful. Because it wasn't that long ago that Norv was doing this, and it was a complete disaster.
Which makes it seem like the Vikings are probably going to they would most likely keep the next offensive coordinator that would promote within, either make it from the quarterback's coach or Tony Sperano, the offensive line coach.
Oh yeah, Tony Sperano.
He's been an offensive coordinator before.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully he doesn't run that stupid Wildcat stuff because he loves that. But he's called plays before, and I'm sure Zimmer will be like, "Hey, we did this stuff last year, so let's not screw it up and do a whole totally different offense."
Yeah.
Like
that, I guess, is my big concern, is that you potentially are looking at a different quarterback, a different offensive coordinator. That offense is going to be totally different, or has the potential to be totally different.
Yeah, that's why I think, they'll probably, what they would want to do is keep it internal instead of bringing someone in from the outside. I think the only person I could think of that's available now from the outside that's available is Darrell Bevel, former Vikings offensive coordinator, but he was with the Seahawks, and he struggled to do anything with Russell Wilson, so I'm not sure how much of a good job he would do.
No thanks.
Maybe Musgrave is with Broncos. I thought he was with the Raiders, but he's with Broncos.
There's got to be somebody. We need bring Jim Kelly in.
I wouldn't yeah, he just got hired at UCLA?
Oh yeah, that's right. You're totally right.
Yeah.
God.
He's a little busy.
Super Bowl homeboy, quit your job. Lane Kiffin.
Hey.
There we go. Lane Kiffin. He can come be the offensive coordinator.
He's getting paid a lot to live in Florida, so I don't think he's going anywhere. I don't think he's going to move to Minnesota.
Well, not with that kind of an attitude, he's not. Not if you never ask him. So
do you think if
I don't even think I would want him.
If Sean Payton were ever to get fired, well, eventually when he gets fired, and Mike Zimmer is still the head coach for the Vikings, he would bring Sean Payton aboard?
I mean, that's very plausible because of their history. I guess I wouldn't. They're much.
I don't know how good of a friend, how good
how
of a friendship
they are.
I know they work together, but
yeah.
How good of a friend can you be with Sean Payton?
That's what I was just going to say, is how much can you like a guy like that? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess there are worse options. I wouldn't hate it. But I also, with guys like that who spend a lot of time with one quarterback, I find myself questioning whether it's the Hall of Fame quarterback or the coach that's calling the play.
Yes.
So I don't know. And the Vikings in the past, they have a history of doing stuff like that where it's you at the tail end of your career, come on in. And I'm yeah, this cool. That guy's name is recognizable and I enjoy that. Come on in. And then they Donovan McNabb all over the bounce pass.
Well, you saw North
something like that.
You saw North Turner's. He's the new OC in Carolina. Cam Newton's career is about to go in the toilet.
So pumped for them to not be relevant for 3 years.
That's such a bad hire.
Oh, why would you do that?
And then I guess his son, his nephew, and his brother or uncle or something are also all on the staff. Isn't
that part of the deal? Hasn't because when he was the OC here, that was his kid is the quarterback's coach, and then they have, I think,
that's what he is.
Yeah, the other one is the some goofy assistant,
offensive assistant.
Yeah, what a gig! I wish my dad was a offensive coordinator. I'd just be set.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see what he does since North Turner's offense is not really known for being innovative.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to have Christian McCaffrey and Cam Newton to do a lot of 7-step drops and
Matt Khalil blocking for you. We know how that works. We know how that works. Woo! Irrelevant for 3 years.
He'll put in a good word for him. I love this guy.
Really like him.
He wanted me to stay in the game.
He has no problem with me starting and being terrible. So let's bring him back.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna be good. I think the Vikings. Do they play? No, they don't. They do not play the Panthers next year.
Lame. That would be fun. They'd beat them up. Oh, that'd be so great. Eagles, back to the NFC Championship game that we, this is so strange that, like, this one play happens and I can't, like,
Focus.
yeah, we should be talking about the upcoming NFC playoff game and any other ending to any other game. We're focused on that, but not after that play, man. I mean, how could you be?
Yeah. Can't.
I'm good. Well, I mean, as far as the Eagles are concerned, what is your prediction? I mean, you said low scoring, but what do you think here?
Probably.
You won again last week, by the way, in the prediction part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't win in my. I changed it in the Viking age. I predicted to be 22-6 because I was like, because the more I looked at the Saints, I was like, they don't have anybody that's healthy on their team. I'm like, this can be like a blowout. Mm-hmm. And then after the first half, I was like, I was right.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm glad I didn't say I was.
Whoa, man. I still can't believe they won that game. Yeah, you said 21-16.
Yeah.
Which was pretty close.
It's going to be lower than that. It's probably going to be like, we'll do like 13-6.
13-6. I'm going to go 14-28. The Vikings are going to win. I think they're going to...
28-14.
Yeah, yep, 28-14. 14-28.
Yeah.
28-14. Yeah. I think they're going to play really well. I think this game was... I don't know. It's hard for me.
Wake up call?
Yeah.
Like, you guys got another chance, so take advantage of it.
Yeah. It's like, I don't like using words like fate or destiny or... Because I don't think that really happens. But... Holy smokes, man. They weren't supposed to win that game, but they did.
Yeah, well, and the Vikings they have a lot of motivation, too, I think, because if they win, they get to play at home in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl. Not as if you needed more motivation, but I mean, like that. And
the Eagles win, they have to play in Minnesota.
And you were given a second chance at the whole thing. So I think they're going to win. I think they're going to win, and we're going to be doing a podcast about the Vikings playing in the Super Bowl.
We could possibly be doing a Super Bowl recap podcast. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
But if we want to, which of the two remaining AFC teams
good call.
Would be the better opponent for the Vikings if they were to make the Super Bowl?
I feel like a better opponent. I feel like Jacksonville is a better matchup because they're similar in that it could just be like a,
Like Bortles is their quarterback?
Yeah, that too. He, though, like, I was impressed by him. Maybe impressed is the wrong word.
I don't know what was going on.
I didn't expect very much from him.
Steelers' defense looked horrible.
He moved around really well. I thought he made a bunch of plays with his feet. I thought he made some throws.
Yeah, he's good. He's good running the ball, and not so much the throwing part. He's not that great at.
He has some throws that were like, "Oh, buddy, you're an NFL QB in the playoffs."
Case Keenum looked like Joe Montana out there. So.
Case Keenum, his problem is he just tries to get. He does that big loopy floating, Here, I'm going to put some touch on this pass, and it's like, you got to just don't ever do that.
I mean, it worked to
That's the problem. It's never worth it. It's never worth it.
On the last play to Diggs, that was kind of a sailing pass. It wasn't a bullet or anything.
Yeah, but I would also say that, of his 7 interceptions, I bet 5 of them were also floating passes that looked just like that. All those things drive me crazy.
That's how they were. What was that? The Redskins game?
The Redskins game, both of them. The Carolina game, one of them. I think. Or no, was that one tipped? I don't know. It doesn't matter. But I hate those throws. They bother me. I wish he would stop. There, I got that out. That feels good.
I think I would go with the Jaguars, too.
Yeah.
As the preferred opponent. Just because it's Tom Brady,
Do you feel like this season, we'll ask that question later. Never mind. I'm not going to ask that question. We should just stop before I get too ahead of myself and start asking questions about the Super Bowl. Let's just enjoy this wonderful,
it's getting
day.
to be fair where you can ask questions about the Super Bowl.
They're close.
They're one game away.
They are. NFC Championship. And a lifetime memory after the way that game ended.
I'm never erasing that video off my phone.
I am never going to be able to erase it from my brain. I'm going to tell my grandchildren about how I danced.
You're going to hear Joe Buck in your head for the rest of your life.
That's awful. All right, that's a good place
on
to
end. On that note.
Yep, that's a good place to end it. Well, thanks for the talk, and see you next week. Skol.
All right.
What a football team.
Vikings.
What a day.
Vikings.
Am I going too fast? Later.
Deep drop, steps up in the pocket. He'll fire to the right side. Caught by Diggs. Stay up. Oh, my God.